there, Pisces. This is your December monthly forecast. I'm new to YouTube, so this is my first video. Shuffling the deck a bit. This is December 2016 for Pisces. What does Pisces need to know? For this spread, we'll be doing the Celtic cross. Let's see what the energies are for Pisces this month. I'm using the Wild Tarot, or the Wild Unknown Tarot deck. Just so you guys know what I'm using. I'm just gonna shuffle a bit more. I have this feeling of ready to go, ready to go, ready to go. That's the feeling I get. Energy of the cards. Anxious, ready, waiting to get moving. We want movement. Take a deep breath. of Cups energy. Okay, guess, ooh, just don't even know why I did that. That was intuitive. So let's see what that's about here. And this seemed to fall kind of along the Daughter of Cups. So, wow, that's beautiful. The Lovers and the Daughter of Cups together in unison, the colors. So something emotional is manifesting, is on its way, like birds in flight. And it's kind of like, it starts with this, almost like a hopefulness, right? Singular, one Daughter of Cups. One bird setting off on this journey on the water, an emotional journey, but a hopeful one. The direction in which she's floating reflects color, imagination, sentiment, hope. I still get a waiting energy from this card, but a hopeful energy of waiting. That you know what's coming ahead. But this new emotional journey is still in its youth. You've just set out on this journey, but it's something new, and it leads to this, the Lovers. This can be literally two lovers, or it can be a uniting of forces in some way. Under a dawning of hope. So some unity. Something's coming together. Taking flight. Indeed, something is getting set into motion, and it seems very much with the backdrop of an emotional movement. I'm feeling in tandem, like a tandem bicycle, two people on a tandem bicycle, cycling in motion. I'm feeling fun, vibrancy. So this seems to be an element and a theme that's going to characterize the month of December. Positive, beautiful. Then these three popped out, and I flipped two of them over, and it's interesting because they're all kind of similar in theme, looking at the colors. And you have two major arcana. And the cards that are sandwiching strength, which seems like a pillar, the pillar of stability, of forward motion and movement, is sandwiched between these moon figures. Intuition, the light and the darkness, what guides us when we have no answers, when we don't know something intellectually, but we feel it emotionally. And that, in a way, is uniting to the central sun of knowing and knowledge and empowerment and power, self-empowerment, the core, focus, the self, relying on yourself. Wow, so interesting. And the power of 3, it's like a pillar. Sorry, there we cut out. Sorry about that, guys. Video recording stopped, so here we go. Continuing where we left off. This is a theme of empowerment, because 3 is a very powerful number. 2 supporting, 1 central, the beam of light, the sun, the rays, the focus looking forward. Wow. And it's almost like the Son of Pentacles is like bowing down at the grace of strength and self-empowerment. I'm getting that so strongly. Son of Pentacles. Reaping the rewards, it's like it depends on this strength, this inner strength, your self-reliance. And this is the fusion of intuition. We look up intuition, I think, in regards to how to proceed in terms of your material life and perspective on the material world, how you approach the material world, how you move forward in the material world. It's very much fused with the moon, intuition, almost enveloping this pentacle. So this, in a way, this like beginning, this movement forward in terms of your material world will be reliant on your intuition about life and about this new beginning. Definitely listen to your intuition. It's very much tied to your tangible physical movement forward. Yes. And I'm getting this too. Sorry about that. Again, the phone turned off. So I was saying, in a way, the deer, right? The Son of Pentacles is on a journey, trotting off in the woods in search of reaping these pentacles, planting them, moving forward with them. And what he finds in the forest, in a way, is the moon, the counterpart. See how they fit together and they create a full circle. This is the fusion between soul, intuition, and logic, strategy, analysis, the tangible world. So in a way, what's happening is this is the marriage of your being. This is the marriage of your being. Mind, body, soul. Altogether, mind, body, soul. Because it's a fusion all together. It's these two halves form the circle. And this half and this half come together and form the infinite existence. Okay. So I think the message here is hope lies in your self-reliance in terms of listening to your intuition and properly fusing it with your material efforts. Rely on yourself, listen to your intuition. Your strength comes from you. So you need to listen to the two halves of yourself, bring them together. And that's when you'll find your strength and your steady motion forward, which is what this lion very much exudes, is a sense of forward steady motion, unwavering, not in the dark, but with beams of light shining down on him. And associated with him, because it's right on his forehead, where that third eye chakra area is. So this is about you becoming one with yourself. Out of the darkness, out of these two fragmented halves of yourself, your mental mind, your logical mind, and then your intuitive sense, self. So bringing those two together and creating harmony and balance. Out of the darkness, you will see the light. Beautiful. So now we're gonna get to the Celtic cross. Ooh, that wanted to turn over too. Mother of Cups. My, oh my. Cups. Daughter of Cups. Mother of Cups. Interesting. In a way, this is crowning this situation and manifesting from this situation. in the sense that here you're the alchemist of your emotions. You're in control of your emotions in a healthy way, in a nurturing way to you and others. You've mastered your emotions here. You're creating magic now with them. They're twinkling. You see color now in the darkness. And this is very feminine. I see this as the maturity of your intuition, your emotions, your emotional self, your emotional half. And if you look at, you go from like a daughter of cups, where you're setting off on this journey of hope, to the mother of cups, taking that emotional reservoir and really living in it, creating something from it, living through it, rather than traveling towards it, seeing it in your future. So this is a serious maturity of emotions and movement forward on your emotional path. You're going to be much more stable emotionally in this space here, this energy. And speaking to this theme, I kind of see it as strength being a very masculine card in a way, the aggressive side of us. And masculine not in terms of gender, but masculine in terms of everybody has two spheres to who they are. One is more masculine and aggressive, and another can be more mothering and nurturing and emotional. So these two counterparts of yourself kind of coming together, and it's again a unison of strength, resilience, empowerment, knowing, knowledge, sight, clarity, breakthrough and opening, and the mastering of handling the darkness, but in a beautiful way, in a magical way. The maturity of your strength and your emotions together as one. So this is, again, I see it as the unison of your soul, of your being. Beautiful. So now, I'm gonna get to the Celtic cross, I promise. The story is just telling itself like this. So I think we got a good idea, kind of themes at play. You can sparse out the finer details. Get more insight as to what's going on. So, I'm going to spread out the Celtic cross in a slightly different manner and layout. So I'm going to do distant past, recent past. The state you're in right now, right at this moment. Then the energy that is contributing to how you're feeling here. So what's helping or hindering you, as some call it. Then the next card I'm going to do your near future, what's the energies at bay in the near future, and then your hopes, your fears, outlook and perspective, and then a final outcome card considering all of these energies. And then kind of crowning at the top, I'm going to have 2 cards, or rather 3 cards, sorry. One is the contributing factors. The other is environmental energies. And the third is going to be the likely outcome based on the state you're in right now, the environmental energies, contributing factors. So let's move forward. Without further ado, let's give it one more shuffle. There we go. Distant past. Recent past. State you're in right now. What's helping or hindering you? Near future. Remove these out of our table. Hopes and fears. Final outcome card. Oh. Beautiful. Factors that have been contributing to your current state. Environmental energies. And the movement of energy. The most likely outcome. Okay. Beautiful. Wow. Wow. 1, 2, 3, 4. Major Arcana. Beautiful. Okay. Let's get these all more or less visible. So let's go, I guess, in chronology of time, starting with the distant past. So we have the 1, 2, 3, 4 of Wands. And I get a very kind of entrapped feeling from the 4 of Wands. Sort of entrapment. However, at the same time, I see it kind of as a peephole. A peephole towards your future. Towards hope. A situation of hope. But still from the confines of this entrapment, whatever this is. And in a way, it's like something is restricting how you see the future, too. It's kind of making it a grid. Just make sure it's recording. A grid, a grid view. And so maybe if you're just looking through here, you're just going to see, in a way, this hole, without seeing around it the rays of light that is actually radiating from this hole. But you probably feel it. But it seems like a zooming in and a zooming out of your perspective. So when you're too funneled in, looking through this, in a way, figment of imagination, of a restriction, of a constricted view of things, then you're funneling out the bigger perspective. So this has almost been like, I think, a narrowed focus. Excuse me. Narrowed focus. But still feeling that, and sometimes zooming out every now and then, knowing that something is coming. You are being led to something. Yes. So perhaps in the past you've been maybe a little narrow-minded in the way that you've been looking at things, focusing so much and so intently on just one point and one perspective and one way of viewing something, being so stuck on it. That you're actually unable to see the positivity that this funneling point, this hole, this darkness is actually leading to. So maybe there was a bit of blindness in terms of your path and where it was leading you. Maybe you felt a little bit restricted, you felt a little bit shut out, even from your own intuition of knowing kind of where this path is leading you. So I see this as kind of a need to open the mind, broaden your perspective a bit, to free yourself of this entrapping that's just an illusion of your mind. It's not actually what's lying. The sticks, this will all make sense. This picture will all make sense. This dark point that you're so focused on, this lack, this uncertainty, what looks like a pit is actually a much more complex image that has more colors to it than right now you see. So you weren't really, I think, getting a full perspective. And what's interesting is that leads to kind of this this web with this spider that's spinning it to this. Sorry about that. Battery again. Okay, so now in a way there's a major focus in these two cards. There's kind of a continuity of this centrality. Something is very central in your mind. This is really how I see this. I almost see this as like, this is you looking out into the world, into your future, from your mind. And this is the back of your mind. Front, back. It's almost as if this is like the inner workings of your mind. You're working towards something subconsciously in the back of your mind while looking out into the world and focusing just dead center, rather than taking a moment to perhaps reflect on a wider perspective of where this is going. I get a very isolating feeling from this. Kind of isolated, focused, working a lot. Focusing hard on something. Trying to bring something together. And very much with these wands as well, it's bringing something together, packaging it into one central focus. But it's very complex in your mind. It's very complex. So perhaps, there's a feeling of dismality, like a dismal feeling, where you're not quite living in your future yet. You're still working on it in the background in your mind, and you're still thinking through it, and you're still trying to analyze it, and you're focusing so hard to bring it to fruition, but you're looking so dead center that maybe this is all you see right now through this little lens, this peephole. But really, what all of this is perhaps contributing to, and what this whole journey is contributing to, is this whole picture, not just where you're looking straight on and what you think you're focusing on and where you think you're going. So there's a lot more to the picture, but there's a lot going on also in the back of your mind, and that you're kind of working on and working towards in a very structured, focused fashion. So this is the past energy. Now moving on to where you are right now. We have the Father of Cups. And we have I believe this is the Six of Wands. Let's see. I believe so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, it does say it right there, doesn't it? Okay, yes, it is the Six of Wands. Okay, what immediately strikes me with this card is balance, unity, symmetry, and flight. the flight that occurs because you have these two wings that flap in unison together. So, and definitely a rising up from something, from this energy of wands, the Six of Wands. I kind of see like a pile of rubbish, of rubble, of wands, almost like discarded efforts, discarded passion, dried up, futile energy, wasted energy. I'm getting a little ahead of myself because this is actually the helping or hindering card. So this energy, let's first talk about where you are right now. Right in this present moment, your energy is the Father of Cups, which is good. In light of the themes at play that we saw earlier, like moving towards the Mother of Cups, just a lot of intuitive feminine energy going on. And the Ace of Cups, sorry, not the Ace of Cups, the Daughter of Cups, the Daughter and the Mother of Cups, and now the Father of Cups. So this is you, I think, really harnessing your emotions, lassoing them in, structuring them, making them useful for yourself, rather than letting them be in control of you. So you're setting off on this journey, and it's progressing. There's been sort of this ray of light, of hope, in terms of your emotional perspective on life. And as you harness the feminine side of that, you also harness so harnessing the masculine and feminine side of your emotional self, bringing them together into one, creating a major stability in your emotions. Major progress and expansion in terms of where you are emotionally. Now, what will help you or hinder you, or kind of what the situation that's kind of lying at your feet, and the way you decide to take that energy and have it work for you, or in a way, I don't want to say against you, it's not working against you, but it depends on your perspective. You can look at it half full, half empty. So depending on that, this is the energy at hand, the situation that's around you that you can harness for good. So this is, again, as we mentioned, looking to kind of a situation of this butterfly fluttering up from this dried pile of rubble and ashes and in a way wasted wands. That's how I see it, kind of taking it back to this very distant past of these four wands. It's almost as if, you know, these wands have just been thrown on the ground, and in a way what you feel like is waste of energy is now leading to this flight, this birth of this butterfly in motion. So in a way, this butterfly, this is the movement forward. Not necessarily with the wands, with the actions themselves, with the wands themselves, with the things you did. It actually led to movement, but perhaps in a different way. So definitely there's a sense of hope with this. I see there is a sense of hope with this. But you have to be open-minded in terms of not over-focusing on these wasted wands, and instead keeping an open mind to what can be born from these failures or this rerouting of your path. It may not be what you think. Blue. You could look at this and say, this could never be a butterfly, but perhaps it could. That's just a thought, to give an example. But I feel these two things are tied, and it is like a transformation. This is like the cocoon of the butterfly, and then the butterfly is now taking flight, leaving behind all this worry and anguish and lack of movement forward, this down to the ground. It seems like just a pile of sticks. So you can look at this situation and you can find the hope. And if you look at it with a sense of hope and open-mindedness, then you can look forward in an encouraging way, in a way that's going to open your mind and let you flow on this new path. Now, in the near future, we have justice. Interesting. So many themes of duality. Split, black, white. Centrality again, yet again, centrality. Reminding me of the strength card we pulled earlier. The centrality with the moon and the moon on the sides. There's very much this theme of bringing things together and manifesting them. Okay. So, where were we? Yes, very much a feeling of strength, things coming together and moving forward. The two halves binding in unison, creating harmony. The two creating one. Finally, making movement. I feel there's going to be a resolution about something here. Something is going to be resolved. Kind of like the sword is cutting to the point. It's being just the focus. The focus is on this, the unison, and kind of the coming together of this theme. So I feel like, again, it's the binding of you, of your being, and of your soul and self. No. Looking at the contributing factors card here, this is kind of what has led you to the point that you're at now. The energy that you've been following is the Ten of Cups. Interesting. Okay. So what I see is very, very, very much you've reached a point where all your emotional vitality, instead of holding them in these cups and trying to save them and let them sit around stagnantly like stale water, you are now letting all your emotions out and you're letting them flow. And you're letting them kind of enmesh with one another, in the sense that I see this as your creative energies, and your emotions are being let out in a creative way towards your creativity. You're allowing yourself, you're opening yourself up more. And in a way, it's kind of like, this was the past, the recent past. Now this is you. This is the energy you're moving into. And it's almost like this is a spider web, but it's almost like, you know, those games that the kids play with the strings. Anyways, this gives me a very childish vibe, whereas this gives me a very more rigid, structured vibe that's based on expectation and logic and strategy and work and hard work. This is more letting your creativity out. And on that blank canvas, we then have what is created by that. The colors. So it's an opening of the self, of the emotional self. Ooh, yeah. Feel that openness in the heart space, right? In the heart. Opening the heart to yourself, really, too. Just letting it all out, letting your creativity wander. And kind of going with the flow of that. And that's kind of brought you to being the master and the alchemist of your emotions, and giving you that hope that something, you know, can rise from this, from the darkness around you. In this central space can be something of your creation and of your choosing, and it doesn't have to be something that you're just so singularly focused on, that has just one color. It can be something that you create and are spontaneous with, and it can change. I think that's really, this is dynamic, this is spontaneous, this is colorful, this is of the imagination. It's wild, right? There's no form, and yet there is somewhat of a form. It's still in the same enclosed space. So, you know, in these enclosures, we have this different ways of viewing progress. So this is you unleashing your creativity, opening your mind, and just expressing how you really feel, the different colors. Seeing, you know what? I don't need to just focus on this one thing. Maybe it's not all just blue. Maybe it's not the way I thought it was. Maybe this isn't what I wanted. So let me see what I want. Let me see what I can create. Let me express it and see where that leads me. So, and that way you get this rainbow of colors. And in a way, what also strikes me is that this kind of looks like an egg. So in a way, it's kind of like, this is still in the phase of you're trying to hatch something, you're trying to create something, you know, in terms of tangible assets or situations. This emotional space is what's leading you to that in a way. So it's taking a different route, coming from a different place, from your intuition, from pure passion, and your truth, what's real to you inside, and letting that shine and speak for itself. Cool. It's a great transformation here. Then we have the environmental energies that have been contributing to this present situation. Okay. This can be situations, people, your environment. That has been contributing to that. And will be contributing to that. So it seems like your environment is going to be conducive to this kind of more introspective, creative, dabbling, expansion and transformation of the way you're going about your goals. And in a way, I feel like your environment is going to be in such a way where it's going to allow you the space and the time to do that. You're going to have the space and the time to do that. Socially, I feel it's been more quiet and you've been more focused on what your passions and what you really care about and what you really want to do. So this is good. This inclusion kind of seclusion in a way, but at the same time inclusion, being kind of more invested inwards, which is what you need. So it's conducive. Now, based on the energies at bay, the current situation, the way you handle this situation and energy, the way you, given your environmental energies, given these factors, and what has led you to this point, and this path, this kind of energetic path that you're on, the most likely outcome based on this, the way that the energies are moving you, you're moving towards the realization of your hopes and your dreams. This is your hope and your dream, the crystallization of your truth and your happiness in the truest way. Shining crown, a star up above. And we have a lot of sky cards. So if we look back, the darkness in the sky with the two moons, and also looking at your final outcome card of the High Priestess, you also have a moon. So this theme of following your intuition, of looking up in the sky, what do you see, right? Looking for answers, looking for a guiding path. What is the star? It's a guiding path. So going from these moons, right, to manifestation, a colorful clarity within the darkness. So being content with the darkness and looking at something beautiful in it. This is the true harmony and balance of your soul. The fusion of this color, this light, this color, this creativity, this vibrant flow of energy and passion brings itself together as it lives in the sky and in the darkness. So it's the coexistence of darkness and all of this sparsed out creative energy, and I want to call it truth. And again, coming to this beautiful Daughter of Cups, starting out on this path of hope, this foreshadowing of what's to come is now in its place in the sky. So there's a major transformation, bringing everything together and seeing how this is I feel so much this is clarity of seeing where your creativity and where all your efforts fit in actually and exist. Understanding your path, understanding where the star is leading you, has been leading you. This is clarity of yourself. In your dreams. And finally seeing, aha, this is who I am. This is the creation of my dreams. And the creation of my dreams will lead me to the manifestation, the existence of my dreams. Beautiful. Finally, everything you've been wishing for. Culminating to this point. Culminating to this final point. And I feel like there is going to be some sort of aha moment of, yeah, got it. All makes sense now. All coming together. Yeah, makes sense. All these, yes. This is what I needed to do. And this light bulb, this light, it's kind of like a light bulb going off. Oh, you're right. Yes. This is also kind of culminating the crown. So I feel like this introspection, this time alone, is thinking, going within, being true to yourself, and focusing on you and your natural creative expression will be leading to this culminating point of your of your true dream and truth. So then we have your hopes and your fears. So you have the Son of Cups. So in light of all these energies at hand, in light of your past, in light of what you've been moving towards, your transformation, of how you're, approaching your path and your movement forward, and your current energies, let's take a look. So the Son of Cups, it's very artistic. And again, we have this kind of, this contained, creative magic or energy kind of sitting in this cup. So in a way, it's like the creativity, it's there. It's waiting for you to drink it, in a way. This elixir of magic. But in a way, you're sitting there and you're not taking the cup. That's what you're perhaps afraid of. On one hand, you have this. I see this as fertile creative energy. Almost like sprouts of creative energy and bursts coming out, waiting, just, there's so much in this cup, it's so full, it's overflowing, and it's waiting to kind of just be like the Ten of Cups, where everything can just come together and you can experiment and get into it and see your creativity in action. So perhaps you're afraid of this stagnancy of creative expression, waiting on it. You know it's there. You know that you have the capacity for it. But perhaps you're worried about it remaining in this kind of infancy stage where you're not actually taking the paint and slapping it on the wall, on the canvas, and creating with it. Maybe you're afraid of staying in this more juvenile stage, still hopeful, still aware of this progression of your emotional self, but perhaps afraid that it won't get to manifest, that it won't actually, you won't be able to take something with it and create your dreams. But it's in your hands. Remember that. It's in your hands in your hands. It's all about your perspective. Oh, the doggy wants to say hello. Hi, Bandit. Hi. Yeah? It's all in your hands. In terms of your perspective. And what strikes me strongly about this card is the way the swan is looking. The look in his eyes, almost pensive. It's perhaps a bit fearful, concerned. The shy artist type. So he's hesitant almost to like use this abundance of creativity that he has in him, just waiting to burst out, waiting to be used and enjoyed. But he has to remember that it's not about confining himself in this space, okay, of, I see these as thought patterns, kind of. It's about seeing beyond that and seeing it beyond the situation and seeing what it can actually lead to, seeing what it can create. It's not about the fear of what if this doesn't work or what if I can't. It's about what you create is what you create. And what you see. Perspective. Perspective, the illusion, perspective. Are you looking just dead center? Are you overly focused here? Are you entrapped in this false sense of fear? Right? Are you stuck looking at the pile of wands? Or are you focused on what could perhaps flutter out of this, the ashes, the rubble, and rise? So focus on what you may not expect. Be open to that. Remain faithful in that. In the surprise of the universe. Also because you wouldn't surprise a butterfly to float up from what looks like a pile of dead branches. So it's your fear that holds you back. It's your perspective that holds you back. Or that can. And so it's literally in your hands. The way you move forward, the way you look at things, your perspective is literally in your hands, and that's kind of the cup. You take a cup in your hand and you drink it, but you have to take the cup and drink it to enjoy it and to reap the benefits of it. But this swan is just kind of sitting there, not even looking at the cup, just kind of looking head on at something that it almost seems he's afraid of, and in a very focused way. So again, bringing it back, and perhaps fear of the past, not seeing the colors here, colors that could be, not seeing the situation for what it could really be, the possibilities, and remaining in the infancy stage, remaining in the stagnant stage, passivity. So take it into action. 10 of Cups, continue with this energy. This is great energy. This is taking 10 of these cups and flipping them over and letting the juices flow and just create something. So if you see yourself in this situation of feeling restricted or scared or fearful, or creatively kind of blocked, just let it out. And don't be so afraid of containing all your creative energy in one place that's not being used. Don't be afraid to use it and take advantage of it, in the sense of actually using it towards something, taking action on it. Action. Okay. Moving on to the last card here that we have, the High Priestess. This is the final outcome. And my gosh, with the most likely outcome of the star, that's 2 major arcanas. Beautiful set. So the High Priestess is like the ultimate seat of intuition, just total mastery, alchemist, magic bowl type, wizard of the universe type. So this and this together is like, you're living at one with the universe. You're flowing, you're living, you're not afraid, you're not concerned, you're on your path and you understand your path. He's not concerned. He's just chilling at bay. It almost looks as if he's like on top of the world. So this is harmony here of the soul, yourself, at one with yourself. And there's major clarity coming, most importantly, from your intuition and your truth and who you really are. Lots of cups energy, water energy, lots of focus on intuition, and that's what leads you to the mastery of it. So thank you for listening, and see you next time.